to finding calm in the chaos. I am Denise Sith, and this is my podcast. Hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. Yeah, okay. So, I'm recording this on Thursday, and I'm going to post it and publish it on Thursday because the new school year, has got me all up in arrears. Let's just put it that way. It is obviously we are in fourth grade, and that involves a lot more work and a lot more individual work rather than me doing 100% instruction. And we're having a hard time and a little difficulty jumping into that. So I'm in it to win it. We'll find our groove. But until then, I got to figure out when I'm going to record because clearly I'm exhausted. So I have it all planned out time-wise to be, give or take. We don't like to go over 3 hours a day is all that's really needed for fourth grade at home. And it could be less on some days, but on average, we do 3 hours. Okay. I know that's strict. Some people do more. Some people are going to be like, that's all you do. It's homeschool. It's actual instruction, not a bunch of like garbage walking back and forth. I'm just saying, but, it's like serious instruction, but it's just, trying to get into this swing is difficult. And I warned him, of course, everyone's like, well, did you let him know? Yeah, I let him know all summer, all last year before we ended third grade. And every day pretty much up until we started on Tuesday. And it was a surprise, I guess. Like nobody listens to anything I say anyway. So there's that. So what's going on besides me being a total mental case right now? Let me just explain something to you guys. I am going through like an internal crisis. I don't know if this is a woman's, what do they call it? Like midlife crisis. I don't think I'm midlife. First off, it would be nice if I was, but going into being that I'm going to be 56 next month, I don't think that's midlife. I think I'm a little past midlife crisis, but I think it has a little bit to do with post-menopause, lupus, stress, anxiety, all this new stuff going on. My kid's going to be double digits next month too. Like, stop it right now. He's going to be 10. I like look at him and I still see like the little kid with like a fire outfit and big boots. He'd probably still wear it today if I didn't take it away. He was wearing this cute little fire outfit I bought him. It was actually made by firemen from like recycled fire gear. It was adorable. But I got him like the boots and the case and the same material, everything, right? With his name on it. And he wore that till it was so far up his crotch. I felt bad. I'm like, that's gotta be uncomfortable, dude. And I'm not buying you a new one because he still likes to dress up. He still likes to do all this stuff. And I love it. And I still have people who are just like, oh, he's a little naive. Yep. And I'm going to keep it that way as long as I can because end of this school year. Yeah. So I'm already prepping myself because in our science electives this year, I'm doing, right now we're doing ecology. But we are moving into, human anatomy, which is cool, right? I did medical work, right? I worked in the medical field. So I feel pretty good about it. Human anatomy and making sure he knows all the bits and the parts. And we've already been doing that in little bits, but we're going to really like dive in. But also that's going to lead into basically sex education. And I didn't know how to approach this. I didn't have a clue, like not a clue. I reached out to a friend of mine. Her son is the same age as mine. And I was like, so oh, are you doing this? And she's like, actually, we are. And this is what I'm using. And I'm like, all right, cool, send it to me. And basically, it's a Christian guide to explaining sexuality. And I love it. First, I had to do, well, I didn't have to do, she didn't do it. I'm like, oh, you didn't tell me you didn't read the parents' instruction manual. She's like, wait, there's a parents' instruction manual? I'm like, dude, you just dived in, bless your heart. So they've already started it, but I did not start it yet. So the kids portion, right? But I did do the parents' manual. So it's the book. I got the audio and I listened to it all, blah, 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 blah. And you guys, I'm just going to tell you right now, it scared the bejeebies out of me. Because first off, so this is a Christian's guide to explaining the beauty and the special gift of sexuality from God. And because I grew up not knowing anything. It was like a Gen Xer, you did it on your own. Everything, if you're Gen X, you did everything on your own. Everything. It didn't matter. Our parents didn't sit down and talk to us about anything. Our parents didn't even talk to us during dinner. So they certainly weren't going to talk to us about sex education. So I want him to be equipped with just how special it is. I understand all the times today, and I'm going to be telling, because I had a couple friends were just like, well, today, the times are is that kids are going to be. No, I think that's BS. I think that's BS. I think if you educate your kid and you give them all of the tools and you give them the knowledge and you give them, if you're a Christian, the Christian-based knowledge on why it is such a special thing and a bond that not only gives you the ability to procreate, but also to have pleasure. That is a gift that you don't have to seek. And I also want to be able to open a dialogue that he can always come to me if he has questions. And that is the most important part, because you want your kids to question you and not, Susie and Joey next door. I'm just saying, I don't. I got horrible information from friends when I was younger. Horrible information. I remember listening to stuff, and it was just insane. But this book gives you statistics, and they're just not shy. Everyone's like, dude, it's just a Christian book. They're going to tell you what they want you to know. No, they had it was cited data and studies and blah, blah, blah that they quoted in their book. And I will tell you that the statistics regarding how young and what kind of sex children are engaged, and I'm saying children because the ages were shocking. Let's just put it that way. We're talking like 12, 13 years old. The statistics were shocking to me. It's shocking. I'm not going to talk about it, but like, just, it's way beyond just like intercourse. Like kids today are doing other stuff. It was just like, it was shocking to me that the perversion started so early. But then I sat back and I looked, well, the reason why I'm homeschooling is because the current climate likes to sexualize everything. So why am I so shocked by these? I mean, I'm not a prude, I'm a Gen Xer, but I'm just saying, that's crazy. Some of these statistics were alarming to me. And I just thought, well, I'm so glad I'm doing this. And that kind of relieved some of the anxiety and the anticipation behind when I had to start it. But the books itself that you do, there's a book for his age range. And then there's another book for, for him being like the next age range up. And essentially, it's a full family thing. So there's dad parts and mom parts and kid parts. And I love that they let you read it and educate and read it. And even though their part is reading some questions that they actually may be thinking of, or questions that they may not have thought of, and they need to know. And it just helps move the what am I talking about? The conversation, right? It's moving the conversation. And also, I love that they give you what to read for the kids, especially because they might have been afraid to ask it. You know, like, well, I don't want to ask that. Like, but I really like it. So I was nervous at first, but then once I saw the book that we would be reading with him, I was like, oh, this is so much nicer. Like, this is, like a lot easier. But I'm not going to lie. Like, I can't believe I'm having this conversation, like that we're going to have this conversation. But I do believe that it's super important to equip him with age appropriateness, obviously, but honesty at the same time. You know, there are no birds and bees involved. You know, that kind of garbage. That's nonsense. I'll never understand that. The birds and the bees. What do we got? That are not even the same species as we are. Like, stop it right now. And what does that have to do again? Like I said, this is Christian based. So what does that have to do with the God-given gift that we get when you find someone that you're going to have that forever bond with? So yeah, so I gotta pop that one on at the end of the year too. So isn't that going to be wonderful? I'm hoping we're in the swing of things by at least the end of October, because that would be insane. End of October, I am going on a road trip. This has changed so much. Here's my thing. I 100% am always harping. You guys know me. I'm always harping about how I have trouble. And I'm starting to believe it's totally internal. It's completely me. You know how it's like, it's not you, it's me. No, it really is me. It really is me. Because I feel like I want an outlet to go out and have coffee or dinner or just somewhere with a woman, like a girlfriend, like a friend, good friends. And I totally want that. But I feel like I've gotten to the age where the amount of effort that some women require is exhausting. I don't really require much outside of if we make plans, we get together. I have a friend. I love her. I think she's a wonderful person. I enjoy being with her. We have excellent conversations. I love that she's strong in her Christian faith. We enjoy her kid, but right now, everything I have planned with her in the last year, not even exaggerating, she is at a 100% cancellation rate. I've asked her if stuff is going on. No, I just want to do this. And I just can't, because here's my thing. I come from the past where I was the people pleaser, right? I did everything. I made all the calls. I did this. And I will tell you right now, you learn when you stop making the calls, because you know what? I'm raising my hand. I stopped making the calls. And you'll be surprised how many people will drop off the face of this earth when you stop people pleasing and being the leader. That nobody, if I got to talk to this person, I call them. Yeah, I call them. I call this person. I call that person. There's a handful of people right now that I know just will not call me again if I never call them. And I'm totally okay with that. And I've had so many little situations arise like that. So I'm trying to work through this crisis right now that I need friends. I don't want new friends. But then I meet people like Peter, one of his rugby coaches, I love. We have a lot in common. It was like me with hockey, her with rugby. Very similar. She's close. She's got kids. I got a kid. She's got multiple kids. You know what I'm saying? But we could meet up. We're doing some stuff together for the team and stuff like that. Cool. All right. I love the time that I can get with her. But it's hard because everybody's running around, right? We're all doing stuff. But when do we I feel like I did this too late, because everyone that I like already has this established base of friends, and I'm like the newbie. So I'm never given first dib. You know what I'm saying? Does it make sense? I don't get first dibs in going out. I'm kind of that. And everybody I do have first dibs with all live in another state or another country. It's pretty sad. But that's what I'm doing. I'm going to see my friend Michelle that moved from Illinois, who didn't move from Illinois to Tennessee, me, apparently. So I'm going to see, for my birthday, I'm going to stay with her. And then my friend Christy, who was in North Carolina, who's now in Tennessee, she's like, so I have one, so the one friend I'm staying with is like in half an hour, like an hour, less than an hour north of Nashville. And then now Christy is like southeast of Nashville, like an hour. And I'm like, okay, so like I'm in between them. She had somebody who was coming in her family during the weekend. I was going to be down there. Now they're not coming. And it's like, it's hard, right? Because I made plans, but then I didn't make plans. And I was supposed to go to Louisiana, but then those plans fell through because something was going on. And I'm like, okay, so did they not want me to go? Am I supposed to go? I don't know anymore. So I'm just kind of doing my own thing. I'm just kind of flying like, which is not normal for me to just kind of loosey-goosey it. It's just not me. So it's been interesting to kind of like go at it. I have so many friends named Michelle. It's like 1 L, 2 L's, therapist Michelle, skinny Michelle, glasses Michelle. It's insane. Michelle was a popular dang name. What else am I doing? So I'm trying in my spirituality path. I'm trying to do things. One of the things is I signed up for a new like devotional app. I like it. I paid for it. You don't have to pay for it, but I wanted the deluxe version to kind of like really get into things. But, I've decided that I am going to read the Bible from front to back, like where I can remember it, because I know I've done this in college, but it was literally so long ago. I don't remember. And I don't know if I like took the time. I wasn't where I was. I wasn't then where I'm at now spiritually. So I feel like I would get so much more meaning out of the Bible. I really, really think that. So I'm going to read it again. And the problem is if I read it again online, I hate reading things online. It's horrible, but I do enjoy the daily devotional. I'm doing a 365 daily devotional, but it's really breaking down. You can customize it as to what you want out of it. And it opens with prayer, and then you have a huge reading, and then you have a quiz, and then you have, Bible lookup, and going through and looking up your verses for the day and interpretation of that. So it's a lot, and I really, really like it. I do. I feel that when I am doing that, I'm at my calmest. I'm at my best, like lost in the Word. Lost in the Word. I know it's a big. People are just like, whatever, Denise, but for me it's just really works, and I feel like I'm still working on, I have no time. I know all you moms out there and women in general, I'm struggling with not having time for me. And I also at the same time, when I don't have time for me and I'm frustrated about it, I'm trying to not fall back into my hissy fits, right? So that's when I go into the rage out, right? I'm acting out. I'm freaking out because nobody's listening to me. So I'm just going to sit in the kitchen and slap stuff around and bang stuff up and just start screaming. And I don't want to do that because, number one, it's zero productive. Not a damn person in this house cares about me yelling. Just flat out the truth. So I thought to myself, why am I putting myself in a tizzy when nobody cares? Mr. Sith does not care when I'm screaming. He does not care. And you know what? My son doesn't either. They're just like, she get over it. She's going to have her little fit. She's going to be fine in an hour. She's going to go make herself a cup of coffee or go get it. And then she's just going to sit down, go upstairs and crochet and drink her coffee and then and watch like The Chosen. And then that's it. She'll be fine. And that pattern is exhausting. It is freaking exhausting. And as a result of that, I'm like, okay, so I need to stop doing that. So what am I going to do in lieu of that? This is a big season. I came up with this thing that I was going to crochet it was a personal thing that I was going to crochet for friends. Okay. And nobody was asking me. I'm crocheting things for people that I love or that mean something to me. And then I kind of get your favorite colors or whatnot. And then I'll just make the blanket and give it to you. And then we're done, right? Bye. Boom, boom, boom. The problem is that I also am part of, and some of you may know that listen all the time, is that I'm also part of my friend Brenda Cooper, who wrote God Goggles. She's the author of God Goggles. She lives in Ohio. She also has a ministry that is the Purple Blanket Ministry. So I crochet purple blankets for her to send out to people. And so I'm currently working on a purple blanket. I just finished one. I have a yarn for the personal blanket that came. So I've got I've got purple blankets I need to make, personal blankets I need to make. The food thing, that's another thing. So guys, I'm like cooking food for the boys. And I think a few times Mr. Sith jumped up and he cooked it. In all honesty, I think he cooked it because I was like flat out not going to make them dinner. Because here I am like in the realms of changing the way I'm eating again. But I'm making them stuff I want to eat that I can't. And so here I'm like, oh, it smells so good. Like I want to lick stuff just to taste like the beef on my oil on my hand. Like it's stupid. I'm like, why am I doing this? This is ridiculous. So I've switched it. Guys, if you are not flexible, my friends, in how you do stuff in your dietary world, I had to make this easier for myself. It was just stupid for me to do this. So I'm juicing every morning. I'm doing the Kachava shakes for supplementation and stuff like that. I'm doing salads. However, now instead of ordering them through Thistle, I'm going to be making them myself. I feel like this is how I've like justified this, that I'm going to have to get in the car and go somewhere and walk. And that would be steps for the day, more steps. It's baby things, right? You got to make up whatever you can make up that's going to make it work for you. And this is what I'm like, okay, that's what I'll do. Do I have time to do this? No, but I'll figure it out, right? And then in dinner, I canceled. Well, the boys are still getting HelloFresh. This isn't just like an overnight change. So I had to cancel, rearrange, know where I'm going to get everything, and then have that shop for ahead of time. Because when you're doing salads and stuff like that and veggies, that's like a daily trip or maybe every 2 days. Plus my celery. So I'm juicing celery. And our grocery co-op is totally got good celery right now. So I'm like going to go back and get like a ton. And then I cut it up, clean it, cut it up and put it in bags so that I can just grab it and stick it in the juicer. And then, boom, it's just easier and quicker. And then then I switched. So I'm going to stop the HelloFresh. I'm going to stop the Thistle, except for like a few little snacks and stuff. I like their snacks. And then I'm doing Home Chef. I think it's Home Chef. I don't even know, because I felt like they had better, healthier options, and they had stuff that even if I wouldn't eat it, it was more veggie dense. I could add veggies to my plate and then give them more of the meat. Because sometimes I have a taste for a meat, but I only want like a couple slices. Does that make sense? And I don't want pork. I don't want chicken. Like if there's beef or something, I'll take a couple slices and that's it. For Labor Day, we did, he loves a tomahawk steak. So I got a tomahawk and we grilled it. That was a funny story too, I'll tell you. Let me finish what I'm doing and then we'll talk about the tomahawk steak. But I just wanted a couple slices off of it, like just one tomahawk's all you need for everybody. You know what I'm saying? I think like one tomahawk steak, if you have a nice big salad, you can literally just slice that baby up into thin slices and serve like 4 or 5 people, depending on how big the tomahawk is. Just saying. But yeah, so switched everything around a little just so that I'm making one meal instead of 2 every day. Because that's insane. Because what's happening is I'm not finding time to eat all of the stuff I'm supposed to eat. When you're doing a heavy, like vegan, like more, not vegan, but plant-based, you have to you eat all day, which sounds like a dream, but I don't have time for that. Like, I honestly, between like the celery juice, I don't like to eat in the morning anyway, except for maybe like a brunch weekend. But to have to like juice and then do all my water with lemon and then do a cachava shake. And then they're like, now eat these protein balls. And I'm like, yeah, nope. You got 3 of them. And you're like, oh my God, I can't believe there's only 3 protein balls in the container. And then you're like, I can't even finish one. That's how full you get, because it's just the more satisfying thing. You know what I'm saying? Supplements, all the same, just continuing with that. It's really helped. I can totally tell the difference in my skin and my nails and my hair, like huge with the changes I've made. So that's like a bonus as well. I don't know. I was just like going off there for a sec. We'll take a little quick break for the little sponsor spot from Pete, and then we'll come back and talk about Labor Day.
Hi everyone, Peter here. I have something to share with you that's very important to me. Scouting America, formerly known as Boy Scouts of America. Right now, we are beginning our annual fundraising with popcorn sales. You guys know I wrote a book called Popcorn World, and it's one of my favorite snacks. Scouting America uses popcorn sales as a primary fundraising way to support troop activities and provide financial assistance to families. Our popcorn is sold at various price points and flavors, with a significant portion of the proceeds directly benefiting the local troop and the larger council. These funds help recover costs like camping gear, activities, leadership training, and registration fees, making scouting more accessible to families. Don't eat popcorn? No problem. There's an option to purchase popcorn and donate to one of our service members in one of the branches of our military. Last year, I was able to get top seller status in my troop, and this year, my goal is even higher. If you can help support me and my scouting troop, you can order online at http://bit.ly/SITHPOP, Sith-Pop, all capital letters on the Sith-Pop. My mom will put the link in the podcast description box. Get yourself a yummy treat or send one to a service member, and thank you for your support.
Hello, we are back. Thank you for listening to my Pete. If you are interested in helping out Pete's troop for popcorn sales for Scouting America, you'll see the link directly in the bottom of comments, the description of each podcast that's going on. It's only available in the United States of America, and everything can be done online. It'll be shipped directly to your house. And if you don't want popcorn, but you want to contribute to his troop, you can purchase popcorn, like he said, and it'll be donated to a service member in one of our 4 troops, or one of our 4 branches or 5 branches. And isn't there like a Space Force now too? So 6, I don't know, one of the branches of our military, and then you'll get to support them at the same time, and then you don't have to worry about the popcorn. There's that. Labor Day. Did you guys all have a nice Labor Day? Mr. Sith was home, And the yard was finally in a state that I could sit out there. And let me just tell you, before we go into the food thing, I got eaten alive. And I was telling you, they sprayed. So they spray our area and our city for mosquitoes. I don't know if I love it or hate it, in all honesty, because I still get bit by other things. So we have these little green bugs in the red maple, which is literally our deck, over our deck. It's like the umbrella over our deck. And there's these tiny little green bugs that fall out of it. You can hardly see them unless like you look. And then once in a while I see them and I like flip them off. I just flick them off with, the nail, the flick. And I get the hugest welts from those things. I don't know what they inject or what they are full of, what they're spraying on these things for the mosquitoes. But I did get 2 mosquito bites. And one of them was on my right arm, okay? And the other, and it was like right by my elbow, like under, like around your elbow, like on the bottom half of your forearm. And it hurt so bad and it was so swollen that I had to literally I don't recommend this at home, but it had a big blister on it because what happened is all of the stuff that the thing injected in me and probably the stuff that was sprayed on it was like literally in a blister under the bite. And so I had to get a little pin and I sterilized it. Okay, guys, I worked in an ER. I know how to do this. Don't do it at home. And I had to pop it to squeeze all of the stuff out of it. And then I covered it with coconut oil and bandaged it up. Whatever. Say what you will. It works for me. And then I realized I had one on my left hand forearm again. This one, it was like on the outside of my arm, my forearm, and I got bit. It is like a welt. Like, I'm not even joking. At one point, it was 2 inches in diameter, like a big lump on it looked like it was just a big lump. And it's bruised. It's so bad. I sent a picture to my friend Christy and I'm like, dude, look at this bite. I'm bruising. And I'm like, do you see the bruising? She's like, I do. I'm like, that is and it's still a bump. I'm looking at it now. It's still a huge bump. And you can feel that it's hot to the touch, that my body's having a reaction. Unfortunately, this one does not have a bubble. So I'm going to have to sweat it out because, so I'm just putting like coconut oil on this one as well. It doesn't itch. It's just, it hurts. It's hard to explain. They like hurt. Like I've been stung by something. From all the poison they spread on them. My body's just like, nope, we're not doing this. Listen, Linda, you have lupus, RA, Lyme's, all this stuff that we're dealing with right now. We do not have time, okay, for mosquito poison. It's like, nope, not today. So yeah. So I love sitting in the yard. I love the whole concept of just sitting out and just relaxing. But the yard has to be cleaner. I can't do that because of the OCD. So that's why Mr. Sith took down the weeds. When I say took down the weeds, he literally clipped them all and laid them in the grass. So I couldn't see him when I sat down. Let's just put it that way. They were clipped down where they were on the ground and I couldn't see because the deck is elevated. There you go. But the deck was clean. I cleaned everything off and we sat out there and it's very nice to sit out there then. I would love to ground more, but our grass is horrible and I'm not going out there. What else? Food. Peter wanted the tomahawk. We were going to grill. I don't know if I told you guys, but when we were in Italy, my parents were here watching The House and Buster. And I guess my dad wanted to go out and grill. And so they went out and opened the grill. We have it covered. Okay. It's a Weber round grill. In fact, it used to be my dad's, right? It was my parents growing up. And, but it was in great shape. I mean, it still is. Okay. It is now. But I didn't realize, I mean, because I'll be honest with you, I do a lot, okay? And if you want me to grill or I'm going to grill, the least you can do outside of like whatever is clean the grill after me. Give it a little clean, a little scrape. I'll usually do that anyway while it's hot. Put down the ashes, scrape, get the little brush, get it down there, empty that bin, cover it up, right? So I guess my dad opened it and there was still ashes and stuff in there and it was filthy, like filthy and rusted. And here's me. How can it be rusted? Why are all our grills rusting? What is going on? I'm covering it. I'm cleaning it. What is going on? So of course I didn't pay any mind to it until like the day before, like Sunday. Okay. And I opened the grill to just be like, oh, I'm going to clean it. Didn't dad say this was like dirty? So I open it up and it's disgusting. Like there is grease all over. I'm thinking, what did he do to this, Mr. Sith, that it looks like this? And why is it rusting? This doesn't make any sense. Well, it does later. So I tried to clean it in all honesty, because I'm pretty devoted, but it ruined my little happy sponge. You know, the little happy scrubbers? He ruined my happy scrubber. Thank God I have another one. But, I was like, man, look, it was black, like black and greasy. I'm like, nope, nothing's happening. I couldn't even rinse the grease off, even with Dawn peeps. Okay. So I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to see if I can find another replacement grill. Oh, yeah, on a Sunday. So, of course, Walmart carries them, but only if they ship. Target carries them, but only if they ship. Ace Hardware carries it, but they're closed. And they're closed on Monday, too. I'm like, really? This is nonsense. So, I'm like, all right, Amazon, come on, Amazon. So, I find one on Amazon. And then while I'm here, I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to get a nice scraper, like a really nice one, right? So I have nice ones that the firemen do, that one. So I have the fire material. So I have those, but sometimes you need a little scrapey scrape. So I'm like, well, let's get a nice one, because don't use bristles, peep. Don't use bristle brushes anymore, because there have been tons of cases of people who are swallowing bristles that get caught on those grills from underneath. So unless you're cleaning both sides, which a lot of people do not. So here I have now, okay, so fast forward. I've got a tomahawk steak already bought, and I've got it basically just salt and pepper on that baby, because we got it at our local butcher called Butcher on the Block. Amazing meat there. So I have it open in the fridge out in the garage, because you want to kind of like age it. So like air dry it with salt and pepper, and you'll have the juiciest, best steaks. When you have steaks of that quality, you don't need all sorts of junk on it, right? So I've got that out, kind of dry aging for me overnight. I've got wings. We bought wings because they also do wings with different marinades, and they're so juicy because they just sit in those. Oh, they're so good. But we had like, I think it was habanero lime, buffalo, and smoky barbecue. They were delicious, by the way. But I'm like, okay, we were going to have those for lunch. And I'm like, oh, what are we going to do? Like, they're going to deliver today. So it's a prime delivery. So I'm like, okay, this could come. It says it's going to come before 3:15, right? It's going to be delivered by 3:15. We could do this. Okay. So I'll just make the wings like in the oven. That's all. And I'll broil them to get a nice char on them or something, right? So that's what I wound up doing. But then I'm like, here I got this huge tomahawk steak. First off, where am I going to cook that? Like, I need a grill. So we finally got the grill. Of course, it kept getting delayed and it kept getting delayed. And I'm like, we're not going to eat tonight, are we? We're going to have our tomahawk another day, I think. So 5:15, I get the delivery notice from Amazon that they're within 10 stops away. Mr. Sith jumps up in the air. Hungry much? And he starts the chimney, right, for the coals. Because here's another thing people don't know. We can't just cook on that grill top. It has to be burned off for 30 minutes under a full charcoal. Okay? Because of the manufacturer, like oils and plastics that might be on it, right? And the chemicals, they have to be burned off. So that thing's got to go for 30 minutes before I can even cook on it. And we had a pretty big tomahawk. It was thick. Okay. It was like, I would say probably about 2.5 to 3 inches thick. So that was for me, we do medium rare. So that's 20 minutes on both sides, right? In a charcoal grill. It depends on like how your coals are and stuff like that. If they're too hot, you're going to have to take it off heat and do it that way. You know, I'm not going to go into the intricacies of grilling because I have that down. But the way that he sets it up for me, Mr. Sith, he knows I like my heat here and then I can move around to the side. I prefer my heat in the middle so that I can move stuff to the side and rearrange things so it's cooking evenly. That's just how I like it. So he starts the burn off. We get it, right? We get the new grill on it. The grill top, we're burning it off. And then as soon as it ends, I've got the steak out, coming to room temperature always, especially when you have a piece of meat that big. It's got to be out for at least 30 minutes before you put it on a hot grill. You can't just put it straight from the fridge onto the grill. No bueno. Okay. So I've got it sitting out, ready to go. But then we also got to watch it because Buster's in, then he's out, then he's in, then he's out. And if he's in, I don't want him to get adventurous, right? Because I will lose my mind. Lose my mind if this dog eats a tomahawk. So we get it on the grill finally. Okay. We clean up, we eat, we do all that for the night. I said, okay, we got to make sure I'm going to go out. I'm going to clean the grill. I clean the grill. I get it all done. I don't have an ash brush yet. Right. So I was like, okay, at the time. So I was like, I'm just going to leave it. And I'll do it again, right? And I'm like, don't forget to empty the bottom. And he didn't. I know he didn't. But as long as it's empty, right? So the very next day, I go out and I'm thinking, should I cover it? Should I not cover it? Let me just make sure the grill's clean. And I pick up the top. Now it's a Weber, like the kettle Weber, but it's the one with the extended, like tabletop, right? So it has like a work area. So it's the kettle and then a work area. So I'm like, all right, let's just make sure it's clean. So I open it up and what is sitting on the grill? The stainless steel bowl that I put water in to dip my brushes when I clean. Okay. I fill it up with water just so you have it, right? And the chimney starter, which is also metal on metal. And it's humid all the time, even though it's covered. And here's me. No wonder all the grill tops are getting rusty. I'm like, honest, like I wanted to die. I'm like, are you kidding me, right? It's how frustrating. I'm like, dude, I just bought this. Could you please stop putting metal on top of the grill tops? That's why they're rusting out. I have never bought as many grills in general or grill replacements, okay, electric and charcoal, in the last 13 years, coincidentally, basically the time I've been married to Mr. Sith, than I have in my entire 56 years. It's just, and it was an anomaly. Not anymore. Not anymore. That mystery has been solved. So I'm like, you need to take the chimney and the bowl, and do you see how there is like a rack under it? Yeah, that's where it goes. That's where it goes. It goes on that rack. See how that rack is like covered in like a black, like rubber plastic? Yeah, that's because it's rust preventive, and you could put it on there. But you can't put that on a stainless steel grill, or you're going to like, why? Like, he's brilliant. He does all of these things he can do. And it's just like basic things like that. It's unbelievable. But we had a nice Labor Day. It was nice to have him home. And, well, it always is. I always complain about stuff, but I'm trying to turn a new leaf, peeps. Okay. But I do want to bring up something today. I've been kind of teasing and talking to a few people. I'll talk more about it in the next episode. But I just want to give you the situation. So today we had our orientation, meet the teacher, and like the mandatory meeting for our Christian homeschool co-op. And I really loved this place. And I do love it. I'm not saying that this year doesn't come with a ton of anxiety and a little stress, because something went down about a month ago that I'll be real honest with you, it flipped me out. Like it just hit and struck every nerve that I possibly could. And I'm going to tell you something that's horrible when you grow up basically being gaslit by your parents. It's funny, but it's not funny. But when you grow up being gaslit about your parents and they're dysfunctional, dads who basically tell you that everybody's life is because a problem because of you. And you're constantly told this, that you kind of lose, is it me? What did I do? A lot of times when things go wrong, I always immediately go to, what did I do? What did I miss? What did I drop the ball on? And essentially, it's part of the people pleasing. A lot of people are usually shocked when they find out I'm like recovering people pleaser, because it's really just this desire to be nice to everybody so that nobody gets upset. And that's what happens when, for the first half of your life as a child, you're tiptoeing around a drunk, and a narcissist. That's what happens, right? So this is my personal experience. It might be yours. I'm just sharing that as adults, this stuff follows you into adulthood. And then these things arise, and then dysfunction happens, and then you're questioning whether or not you're wrong when clearly the situation is not okay. And that's what happened in this particular case in our co-op. We went to Italy, as you guys all know, in June. And then I come back in July, mid-July, might I add. Okay. We were already back so it was like mid to late July. I get a random email from the co-op, and it's from their board. Now, mind you, it says the board is how it's signed. It's not signed by an individual. Now, I'm going to preface this whole story with, I find that incredibly unprofessional and basically a cop-out. If you're sending somebody an email, you can send an email on behalf of the board if you're on the board, but you got to sign your name. You got to sign your name, because I still don't know who has been sending me these emails since July. I have no clue. But the email basically was titled, the subject was, Peter Code of Conduct. And here's me. The hell is going on? Like, I have no idea what's going on. Truly, I had no idea what was going on. I mean, we just finished a whole year and boom, right? And anybody who knows me knows I am, when it comes to good cop, bad cop, I'm bad cop. When it comes to disciplinarian, that's me, not Mr. Sith. Okay. It's me. I have literally zero tolerance for discipline issues. And everybody who knows me knows that. And I've actually had people, when I've corrected Peter in public, be like, well, he's just a kid, mind your own business and sit down. I'm not here to raise a communist or an asshole. So just sit down. That is out of line. And I told him it was out of line. What you're doing is out of line as well. So sit down and shut up. I just don't tolerate it. So I'm going to just skim over it, and then I'll do another episode next week that hopefully we'll just lay on Wednesday and not on Thursday. So to be like, surprise. But that's kind of where I'm going to leave it, I think, because they started to basically tell me that they were violating Peter on a code of conduct. They're in their bylaws, right? In our bylaws. And I had no idea what they were talking about. Here's me. How do you get violated for a code of conduct and you don't know anything about it? Nobody's talked to me. Nobody mentioned anything during the week, during the year. Nothing. No precursors. I'm blind. I got nothing. And then as I read the email, I just got, you could feel the level. If you have issues like this, you know what I'm talking about. Rage disorder, legitimately, for those of you who are new, I have OCD and I have postpartum rage disorder. Okay. I didn't get depression. I got rage. How did I win that? Because I have OCD. Pretty common if you have OCD that if you get postpartum, you're going to get rage and not depression. So, yeah, which is worse? I don't know, man. They're both pretty poopy. I'm just going to say that. They're both pretty poopy. And as I read this email, I could feel the heat in my body rising because I was so agitated that, in all honesty, had a name been on this email and I knew where they lived, I would have lost my shit. I did lose it, but instead I kept it internal and it was just a poop show. So we'll talk about that more next week. There's a little, I left you with a cliffhanger. So until next week, peeps, you lead with kindness. Bye.